Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin Sarachik, editor-in-chief of Rapzilla.com, and I'm here again in Fenix Studios in Staten Island, New York, and I'm gonna bring you the very best news of the week. And right now, we're gonna kick it off with the Elevation Conference, which occurred last month in Boston. Last week, we introduced you to a first part of a panel discussion with Derek Minor, Chad Horton, and Spec House, where they spoke about CHH and how come it doesn't get played on other Christian radio stations. Well, in part two of this article, they're kind of discussing the social justice in Christian hip hop now. It wasn't always a thing, it always kind of was there, but now it seems to be at the forefront with artists like Lecrae tackling it, KB tackling it, Derek Minor even tackling it. So Chad Horton seems to think that this sudden rise started with the tragic death of Trayvon Martin, which if you really trace it back and look at the timeline, you'll see more and more of it once that occurred. So you can check that article out on Rapzilla.com right now and let us know what you think about the discussion. All right, and in this next story, I know a few of you are probably gonna be rolling your eyes because it's about Kanye West. Well, he recently did an interview in Forbes magazine and on video as well, where he spoke about the Bible being a huge inspiration for his creative process, which you may have not necessarily thought of. And he spoke very passionately about it. In fact, this is what he said. "I'll be working on home designs and looking at references from 3,000 years ago and reading the Old Testament at the same time. It's like a soundtrack to the visuals and shapes of what we're creating. A lot of my creative friends, I tell them, the Bible's better than Pinterest. You can bring something into space and time we exist in while reflecting thousands of years of truth." This next story is really cool because I got to do the interview right here in the studio with pastor and rapper Brandon Burke, who also just so happens to be the spiritual advisor of Justin Bieber. Burke has an incredible testimony and story where he got healed from a debilitating disease, and that sort of set him on the right path of ministry, and ultimately, in crazy circumstances, led him to meeting Justin Bieber and being the positive light in his life. Well, part one of this interview is up on YouTube right now, where he describes his testimony, his upbringing, and what brought him into rap. And if you stay tuned till later this week, or at least early next week, you'll be able to watch part two, where he talks about that relationship with Justin Bieber. On Friday, we posted an op-ed piece about the Christian hip-hop scene in Nigeria, and it kind of sparked a little bit of a debate on Twitter where a lot of African rappers came to the defense of some of the points that were made in the article. There was a lot of positive feedback, there was a little negative, but the best part about it is the conversations remained civil and people were actually able to open up a very good dialogue about some of the problems or some of the perceived problems in Christian hip hop in Africa as a whole. So it's pretty cool. They do have some of the same problems as we have, while we think sometimes things are uniquely an American experience. So check that article out, learn something about the globe across the pond in the Atlantic, and just check that out and let us know what you think, and if you want to see more articles like that in different communities of the world. And that's it. That's the news for this week. Make sure to check out all these articles on Rapzilla.com, and if you need some background music, head on over to Spotify and check out the Rapzilla playlist along with all of our other great playlists to hear the latest drops and albums from last week. Then you can head on over to the Christian Rap Mix on Pandora, where you can hear some exclusive commentary about all of your favorite tracks. And when you're done with that, head on over to newh2o.com and learn about some indie Christian hip hop. And if you yourself are an artist, head there to learn some tips of the trade. And special shout out to Fenix Studios in Staten Island, your one-stop shop for mixing, mastering, production, music videos, artist management, anything you need, they can pretty much do it here. And you're watching me from right here every week. If you are interested in sponsoring or placing an ad, dropping your music video, doing anything creative with us pertaining to this new show, make sure you hit us up at me@Rapzilla.com and let us know. And I'm Justin Sarachik, like I said, editor-in-chief of Rapzilla.com, and thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all next week. Peace.